This week's Dancers involves deceit, infidelity, and stripping. Here on Dancers, we source questions from the bowels of the internet. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and leave a comment. Now for this week's question. If your partner went to a strip club and got a lap dance without telling you, what would you do? It's a tale as old as time. Your partner is out getting drinks. They're 5 to 7 Zimas deep, and their friend suggests, hey, let's go to a strip club. You're home asleep while they are out doing the exact thing you are having a nightmare about. You wake up in the morning in a bed covered in glitter and perfume. You pick their pants up from the floor and see a wad of $1 bills, and you know two things. One, they were at the strip club. And two, they were being stingy at the strip club. Why were those ones in your pocket? That is evidence that you could have been throwing on a lady named Trixie. This was the exact problem facing a woman who posted on Reddit. Let's read what she had to say. My partner got a lap dance last night at the strip club, and I feel weird and gross about it. But apparently I'm supposed to treat it as one of those boys will be boys situations and not act like laying your hand all over some naked stripper's ass and tits before coming home to me is like really effing unappealing and weird. Why is it a thing in our culture that this kind of behavior is okay? Because it's in a strip club? If he would have gotten a lap dance and felt up some girl outside of that environment, such as a bar or house party, how is that any different? Is the exchange of money supposed to make it feel like less of a personal thing? I absolutely do not understand why I'm apparently in the wrong for being upset about it. Please explain. Is she in the wrong for being upset? Well, here at Dancers, we give definitive answers, and the answer to that question is no. Now, many people find that the strip club is a gray area in terms of infidelity. In fact, the gray area would be a great name for a strip club that has exclusively elderly dancers. Come on into the gray area. The women are beautiful and their joints pop. This is because strippers are professionals. They may dance on your husband, but they most likely will not be trying to take him home unless he is an NBA player. Hell, there are even couples that will go to strip clubs together, and whether that is your first time doing that or you are swingers in training, I think that's beautiful. However, this is something to clear with your partner before going to the strip club. If you are planning a trip to the Peppermint Rhino, the Velvet Dung Beetle, or the Tickle Palace, I think you should clear it with your partner because call me old-fashioned. But if you tell your partner I had a pair of breasts rubbed in my face, it may not make them feel better if afterwards you go, but don't worry, I gave her $50. Now, let's talk for a moment about being on the same page with your partner when it comes to potentially jealousy-inducing events. We live in a beautiful world with a beautiful spectrum of people with a lot of different ideas about what is appropriate and what is inappropriate. There are people who would want you to tell them if you were at a party that your ex was at. There are people who don't care that you were at a party that your ex was at. There are people who will say, sure, go on a multi-day boating trip with your ex in Cabo. I will be here eating pills that I do not know the origins of. The only way you will know where your partner stands on the spectrum is by having a conversation about it. This conversation might be difficult because we all love to pretend we're super cool. Hey, I'm a cool guy. I don't care whatever you do until you actually do it, and then it hurts me deeply, and I have to bring it up in a way that will make you feel uncomfortable. Short-term discomfort leads to long-term comfort, and this is a situation that fits into that expression that I kind of just came up with perfectly. Because if you and your partner have different ideas about what is acceptable behavior, it is only a matter of time before it comes to a point where you will both be upset. When you have these conversations with your partner, try to leave your ego at the door. Understand that you are probably not as cool with things as you would like to believe, and boat trips are a lot more intimate than you're giving them credit for. Your partner made a huge lapse in communication, and you have every right to be upset at them. But there is something I would like to address in your question. Now, when you ask, why does this culture condone this behavior? Let me tell you, this situation has a lot less to do with this culture than your boyfriend does. This is not an issue with our culture. This is an issue with your boyfriend not clearing something with you before he went and did it. That is not an issue with our culture. That is not an issue with you. It is an issue with your boyfriend.
Correct.
Now, I don't know how he explained this behavior to you. Maybe he said it was a lapse in judgment. Maybe he said it was peer pressure. Maybe he said a witch put a curse on him that could only be reversed by getting a friction rash from a 22-year-old, but whatever the reason, he should have given you a call. When something like this happens to us, we have a tendency to get mad at the wrong thing. Your boyfriend gets a lap dance from a stripper, and instead of getting mad at him, you get mad at strippers. Your girlfriend cheats on you with an NBA player, and suddenly Anthony Edwards needs to be stopped. Folks, we are looking at problems from the wrong angle. So, the real question is, what do you do now? Your boyfriend crossed your boundaries, did not check in with you, and now you have a choice to make. Is this something you can work through with your boyfriend, or is this something you should leave him over? To me, that question can only be answered by you, and can only be answered by you once you place responsibility on the correct person in this situation. And it's important that you realize your issue here is not with the strippers. Strippers come in all shapes, sizes, and varying degrees of morality, just like everyone else. The stripper is not the person you should be mad at. They were just doing their job, out at night, dealing with a number of horrible, horrible clients. Your boyfriend, one face among many. It is not their fault. They can't check at every strip club whether the guys that come in are single or not. A bouncer's job is hard enough. It would be impossible if every guy who walked in needed to open their Instagram and go to their tagged photos to be allowed into the establishment. That stripper was simply doing her job. Leave her alone. We have bigger fish to fry here. Now, if you think this is behavior you can forgive this person for, I say work on the path of setting better boundaries and having better communication with this person. That's not on you. It's on them. But if you're going to build a relationship, it takes two people and not just one person who is mad at another person. Or you can leave them. Never forget you can leave them. Many people forget that they can leave them. And those people are usually married, and we call them our parents. But don't exist in the middle ground of resentment, at least long term. Resentment can exist for a little bit. It's a human impulse. But long-term resentment will not only destroy your relationship, it will destroy your mental health and the mental health of your partner. Did he mess up? Absolutely. But you need to make the choice if that mess up was something you can forgive or something that you have to leave them for. And that's not for the benefit of your partner. That is for the benefit of you. I want this person to be in a happy, long-term relationship with someone they can communicate with. Either their partner turns into that person or they find that person elsewhere. Thank you for listening to Dancers. I hope you appreciated it. Again, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please comment if you enjoy these videos and would like more.